Yo, what's going on guys? It's Anime1 back here with another video, and today I'm here with another part of What If Naruto was banished and awakened to secret powers. So if you guys like the content in the channel, please subscribe to the channel, and while you're at it, also like this video. So let's begin the video. Izumi and Kisame were now very tense. The man that was standing in front of them was probably the most feared man in the world right now. And who would have thought that Shanks Uzumaki was the one that we would meet here? Izumi thought as she looked at the red hair that was in front of her, carrying Naruto on his shoulder. Shanks looked at both of them with a calculating gaze. What do both of you want? Akatsuki, I'm guessing you're here for the tail piece inside of him. Shanks said, his tone turning from the jovial one to a serious one once he removed his hood. Everything was becoming clear. Why do you want the boy? Izumi asked. Shanks raised an eyebrow. Why do you care? It's not like it matters to you anyway. I'm gonna be killing you both here and right now, so that Naruto will have less threats in the future. You know, just looking out for one of my clansmen. Shanks said as black aura started to surround him. You'll see firsthand what Dark Leaves can really do. Be prepared, boys and girls, because you're about to witness a show, Shanks said. Both Izumi and Kisame got on guard, preparing for the battle that was about to come their way. They were not about to let the Jinchuriki go, especially Izumi. She didn't want Naruto to go, especially in that man's hand. And why was Naruto out here alone? That didn't make sense at all. She had so many questions, but for that she needed Naruto to answer them. And for that, well, she needed to defeat Shanks. She doubted that would happen, even with her and Kisame. But at least they could try. Shanks took out his sword that was strapped to his waist. Let's see how you fear up, Cruzo. Shanks whispered in a low tone as his red eyes were glowing. As soon as he said that, both Kisame and Izumi were, well, attracted towards Shanks as if he was a black hole of some kind of. The black aura was still surrounding Shanks as he looked at both of them. I really do wonder how you're gonna survive this. But let's see, he said as he brought down his sword to both Izumi and Kisame. Kisame managed to block the sword with his Samehara. But to his shock, even Kisame was very powerful physically, so this was very surprising to him. This sword was being pushed down. Kisame applied chakra to his hands as he tried to push the sword up, but no, it didn't matter. Shanks was still pushing his sword down. The sword was, a katana that was, a normal katana. The same one that Zoro has in One Piece, if you don't know. And Shanks, I kind of borrowed that from One Piece, so yeah, don't mess with me, okay? So, Shanks just looked at both of them with emotionless look. Sorry, but I have to end this, he said, as a black aura surrounded Shanks, and it soon surrounded his sword. Black lightning sword started to surround Shanks' sword. Kisame was forced to jump back, but to his surprise, Izumi didn't. A skeleton was surrounding her as she had her Mangekyo activated. Pulled out the Mangekyo so soon, huh? Didn't think that you would take me so seriously, Izumi Uchiha, Shanks said. Izumi looked at the man as he closed her left eye. She opened it as blood dripped down her eye. Amaterasu, she whispered in a low whisper. But Shanks was fast enough to dodge the black flames that were coming his way. The black flames of the Amaterasu, I've heard about it. It burns your target until left to ashes. It will not work against me, Izumi, he said. As Izumi cursed, he managed to dodge it, but she tried once again. Amaterasu. As the black flames this time caught Shanks, but he didn't look panicked at all. Shanks was completely calm. As I said, this isn't gonna work. As Shanks said that, the black flames started to disappear. What? Izumi and Kisame both thought at the same time. Shanks looked at them. I'm revealed as the world's most dangerous man for a reason. The world's most powerful shinobi for a reason. Do you wonder why that is? Darkness exists everywhere, even in shadows. Sang said. As soon as Sang said that, Izumi's eyes widened as he caught the hidden meaning behind that sentence. As out of Kisami's shadow, several kunais were thrown towards him as Kisame cursed. What the? As soon as he said that, but he was too late. He turned around to see Shanks. Too late for you, Kisame Hoshigaki, he said as he brought his sword down towards Kisame, who barely managed to dodge it, as well a slice was all across his chest. What the? But Kisame didn't have enough time to think, as Shanks brought his sword down in a piercing motion, but Izumi jumped in front of Kisame with her Susanoo activated. As he was panting, both of her eyes were bleeding. I cannot keep this up for long. Genjutsu doesn't work on the user of Darkules. She thought Tsukuyomi would be completely useless, and she knew that. She didn't want to waste chakra on something like that. What could be done? Shanks was too fast for her to catch him with a Toxica blade. But how the hell did he evade the Amaterasu like it was nothing? There was something that they both didn't know. Shanks looked at both of them. It's getting boring. I'll end this right now. Special move. King of Darkness. Those were the last words Kisame and Izumi heard. Kisame was completely thrown towards was completely actually not thrown. He was slammed into the wall with blood everywhere. The wall was completely dented as Kisame was now dead. Samihara was broken into pieces as Izumi was barely staying conscious as Shanks looked at her with a dangerous gaze. You're next, he said. But before he could, Naruto started stirring up as Izumi fell unconscious. Shanks looked at Naruto, who was stirring up. Yeah, it's not time for you to wake up right now, Naruto, my boy. But Izumi, on the other hand, I'll make sure that she sleeps forever. Shanks went towards her and put his hand on her head. But before that, I'm really curious. What happened? Why would she do what she did? He tried, and he put his hand over her head, and a dark aura surrounded Shanks' hand as Shanks widened his eyes when he removed his hand from Izumi's head. That's... I don't believe it, Shanks said as he looked at the girl. Poor girl, going through so much at such a young age. He thought as he did a one-handed hand seal as a clone poofed around Shanks, but the smoke was completely black in color. Take her as well. I don't want her to work for the Akatsuki anymore. And if Toby comes, he'll face me. He's not foolish enough to challenge me just yet. Shanks said as the clone nodded and picked up Izumi. A few hours later, Naruto opened his eyes as he looked around. Well, where the hell am I? Naruto thought. As he got up and sat up, his top was completely gone, but he was still, he still had his trousers on, so at least he had something. Naruto's had a badass headache. What the hell happened? He thought. I'm guessing you have a bad headache. It happened to me too, and I unlocked it for the first time. Naruto heard a voice as he jumped up. Who the hell is there? Naruto asked, as the figure chuckled. Well, you're just like Kushina, but, my name is Shanks. Naruto heard the voice behind him as he looked to see a red-haired man with very pretty red eyes. He was wearing a black cloak and black pants with very strange black shirt with strange designs on them. The designs were well golden, and he had a sword strapped to his waist. Naruto looked at the man. Shanks. Who the hell is that? Shanks' face faltered as he fell to the ground. You seriously don't know? He said. As Naruto shook his head. No, I don't. Shanks sighed. I guess. Knuckle-headed. That's what I heard about you from Jiraiya, but never thought that was actually the case. Since you're Minato's son. Naruto's eyes widened. What did he just say? He said. Shanks looked at Naruto with a serious gaze. I didn't want to hide this from you since we were gonna begin our training. I want to take you as my apprentice since I don't have long to live. And since that's gonna happen, I want to come out clear with you, Naruto. Your mom was someone that I knew since she was a fellow clan member, and your father was the fourth Hokage, Minato Namikaze. The man that I respected. He was still not as powerful as I was, but he was powerful in his own right. Shanks said. Naruto looked at the man. That's the fourth? Naruto said. Shanks gave him a grim nod. I know what you must be thinking right now, but I want you to cool down and think about this. Do not give in to your rage. Rage is the biggest downside when you have Dark Release. Shanks said. Naruto was perplexed. Dark Release, Naruto said. Shanks gave him a nod. That afterwards, but for right now, just focus on what I told you. You need to get things fixed that first, then only we can begin our training. As I said, you are someone that has the same ability as me. Dark Release. Shanks held his hand out as a dark aura started surrounding his hand. His hand completely turned into, dark matter. As I said, it's something that is very, very, very cool that you will like in the future. But, as I said, that in the afterwards, first figure out of your emotions. That's the first step to mastering Dark Release. Naruto nodded as he needed to process some shit. If the fourth Hokage was his father, they seriously banished the son of the fourth? Naruto said. Shanks gave him a grim nod. Yes, indeed they did. Konoha is not all heaven and good as the people think. The village is corrupted as any other hidden villages. That's how every village is, Shanks said. Including our village. That was once upon a time it existed, but our village was also corrupted. They trained shinobis in a way that was straight up brutal. Uzumakis were taught seal at a very young age. That is something that I would recommend, but it was a Kage never listened. How old are you? Naruto asked. Shanks gave him a smirk. You see, my boy, Uzumakis have a long life. 200 years is normal for Uzumakis to live. And currently, I'm 71 years old, Shanks said, but he rubbed the back of his head. Naruto's jaw dropped. 71? Naruto said. Shanks gave him a smirk. Yes, 71, you heard that right. As I said, Uzumakis live longer than others. But me, I doubt that I have that long. Shanks said. Naruto didn't understand what the man meant, but he would understand it soon in the future. He noticed another figure started to stir up beside Shanks. That's Naruto pointed towards the girl that was there. Izumi Uchiha, Naruto said as he took out his kunai out of his pouch. Easy there, she's not our enemy. She was even trying to protect you. My goodness, the girl has been through some shit, Shanks said. Naruto looked at the man. Explain, please. Shanks shook his head. I invaded the information that I shouldn't have without her permission. I won't share this information with you unless she wants to. I just want you to know that she's not your enemy, Naruto. And there's a reason why she did what she did. Naruto looked skeptically at Shanks, but before giving him a nod, the man saved them, so what was there to lie about? Shanks gave Naruto a nod. As I said, today we will rest, and from tomorrow we'll continue our training. But before that, can you tell me about yourself? Shanks looked at Naruto, perplexed. Oh, you want to know about me? As I told you, my name is Shanks Uzumaki. I'm pretty sure you all figured that out. And well, I am the wielder of Dark Release. I'm also known as, well, the King of Darkness in the Bingo books. Because that is my final move and my most strongest one. People will see that very often, but the people who don't see it are mostly dead. Only a few cases are the ones who survive, but let's not get into that. My bounty is the highest in the Bingo book ever recorded. Period. The saying said as he pointed his finger out. Period. He said again. Naruto gave him a nod. Period. Naruto said. Shanks chuckled. Well, and I was born in the Uzumaki clan. Our clan was eradicated 30 years ago, and I was forced to flee, even for someone like me. Handling 3 Kages is pretty hard. Yeah, especially when I was extremely unexperienced at that time and my illness. It just wasn't possible for me. I cannot utilize the full power of Dark Release, but I'm still the strongest ninja that there is. I doubt that anyone is stronger than me, Shanks said with a rather cocky smirk. Naruto had a dead-panted look on his face. You're just complimenting yourself right now, Shanks, Naruto said. Shanks rubbed the back of his head. Sorry about that. But that's just the way it is. You see, I have few friends and my wife, who's also an Uzumaki. Well, we wanted to have kids, but we decided to hold on to that since, well, it won't be good because of my reputation. I really wanted to have an ear or someone like that, but there was never someone born with Dark Release. But when I found out that you were banished from the Leaf Village, I just wanted to take you in, but who would have thought that you would have Dark Release? I had absorbed you for 3 months, thinking that you were happy with the life that you were living with the villagers. Who would have thought that Danzo would send his lackeys? I was about to jump in, but, well, you finished the job before I could, so that's that. Saying shit as Naruto looked at him. I don't remember what happened. Shanks gave him a nod. The same thing happened to me when I unlocked Dark Release for the first time. It's normal, Shanks said. Izumi opened her eyes as she looked around. Where the hell was she? The last she remembered. She widened her eyes as she looked around. Where the hell was that red-haired bastard? Right beside her? Shanks was looking at her with a amused look on his face. Well, seems like the princess is awake. Truly, you are a beautiful girl, Shanks said. Izumi deadpanned at him. I'm not interested. But why did you spare my life? She said. Shanks gave her a serious look. Well, it's quite easy. I know the truth, Izumi. I was really curious that why you would do what you did. And I sort of went through your mind. It's one of Dark Police's power. And when I did, I found out what had really happened. Izumi looked down. Oh, so that's why. Yes, that's why. Toby won't come here. Don't worry about that. Toby, you mean Madara, the one you presume him as. Toby is definitely not foolish enough to come after me because he wants you to join back the Akatsuki. That's just how it is. And he won't go after Sasuke since, well, for obvious reasons. Sasuke is not strong enough right now. But I want you to also cure your illness. My illness is something that cannot be cured, but still I've survived for so long. But you're, on the other hand, my wife should be able to do it. Your wife? I didn't know a notorious criminal like you would have a wife. Shanks gave her a smirk. Well, she's rather beautiful. Don't get me wrong, she is one of the greatest medics in the world. And she would probably be more than happy to help you to get that illness cured. It's killing you, Izumi. You have best at 5 years to live with that kind of illness. And I don't want that to happen. I've seen your life. You already suffered enough, poor girl. You don't have to anymore. You don't have to die because you have killed your clan. You made your choice, Izumi. And because of that, your little brother is alive right now. And there's not a fourth great shinobi war happening. You did what was the best. Don't regret it. Shanks said to her. Izumi just held her head down. I'm not getting any of the shit that you guys are saying. Just out with it already, Naruto said. As Izumi looked behind Shanks to see Naruto, tapping his foot on the ground, and he had his arms folded. He also was naked at the top. Izumi just sighed. Well, that's that, she said. As Shanks smirked. Well, if you don't mind, I would like for us to go to my home. I'm pretty sure my wife would welcome both of you. Especially you, Naruto. She was rather fond of Kushina when she was born, so I'm pretty sure that, knowing that her son is alive, he would be rather ecstatic. Naruto still was processing those information in his mind. His father was the fourth. His mother was Kushina Uzumaki. Well, shit were really bad. Meanwhile, in Konoha, Danzo was cursing. What the fuck was happened? His roots agents that he had sent when he found out Naruto's location were all dead, and not only that, Kisame Hoshigaki, a fucking tailless tail beast man, a extreme criminal member of the Akatsuki, was found dead. How the hell did that happen? Danzo thought as he rubbed his forehead. He found traces of dark chakra. He thought only of one man that came into his mind when he thought of that. Shanks, Danzo thought. Shanks was someone that Danzo respected, but also hated at the same time. Shanks was same age as he was, but the man was still pretty young and is in his prime because of his Uzumaki genes. So that was that. Meanwhile, Danzo was being a crippled old man. He cursed. His plan went to hell because, well, Uzumaki Naruto was being protected by Jiraiya almost every second. But after a month or two, Jiraiya left Naruto. And when he did, it took Danzo a total month to figure out Naruto's location, and when he did, he sent his root ninjas to capture Naruto and bring him back to be his personal weapon, but that didn't work out too much. Danzo sighed. Shit wasn't going the way he planned to be. Meanwhile, in the Hokage's office, Tsunade was, drinking. She was doing some paperwork. She looked out of the window as she sighed. She had to train Sakura today as well. What a drag it was. She really just didn't want to do any of this anymore. Seeing he was not here to smile at her, call her granny, even if she didn't want to admit it. Well, Tsunade really did see Naruto as her own son, and the thing that happened crossed her. Would she ever be able to meet her son again? But she didn't know. All she could pray was Jiraiya was taking good care of Naruto. Jiraiya would only send her letters, but he would never actually come to village. And he already made it clear that the village, since they didn't want Naruto, he would only give them the information, and he would never come back to the village until Naruto forgave Konoha. So he didn't know if the day like that would come. Especially if the boy knew his heritage. That would be disastrous. Meanwhile, Naruto sneezed. Is someone thinking about me? He sneezed again. Definitely not. He thought. Shanks looked at him. Well, seems like you're catching a cold. We better get going and get your t-shirt or some clothes to wear because, well, you don't want to walk around like that. You'll catch a cold. Shanks said. Naruto gave him an eye. Indeed I will.